Assalamu alaikum, dear students. Hope you will be fine all. This is Arif Rashid once again back to another question, that Simon Commission. Last time we were dealing with the chapter that's Rise of Nationalism in India. Similarly, this is the fourth question of your context book of your textual exercise of Rise of Nationalism in India. So here today I want to give a brief description about the Simon Commission. This is most important question into your textual exercise, which has been frequently asked by the board examination. So what is this Simon Commission? I will make you know. The Simon Commission, it was a commission sent by a British government on Feb 1928 for the Indian people. It was having some objectives, some aims that firstly it was meant for to study the constitutional regimes, to study them or to make the recommendations for the constitution, and was originally named by the or headed by the Sir John Simon. So here I will make you know about the point wise. It was having some background, it is having some objectives, and how did Indians oppose it. I will clear you all that in this chapter. So have a look here on my board. That's Simon Commission was a group of 7 MPs from Britain who sent to India in 1928. This commission was a group of 7 MPs excluding Indian members. From Britain who sent to India in 1928. This commission was sent by British to Indian people on Feb 1928. For what? It was having some objectives just like to study constitutional reforms and make recommendation to the government. It was meant for to retrieve the functioning of the constitutional reforms or to reform the newly constitution and to make its new recommendations here. The commission was originally named the Indian Statutory Commission. It was firstly a statutory commission, just like statue, and then after headed by the Sir John Simon, it came to be known as the Simon Commission after its chairman, after its head, that Sir John Simon. So what is its background, why it was sent to an Indian, and how did Indian people give response to this Simon Commission? So here I will make you clear about this background here. This is diarchy was introduced in India by the Government of India Act 1919. There were two acts, in fact, 1909 and 1919. Diarchy was introduced in the. I will make you know about the diarchy word. Diarchy word, this is the word estate, where the estate which is ruled by the two people. That's diarchy government. Indians totally oppose this diarchy government. They want to reform this diarchy government. So this was introduced in India by the Indian government. Act 1919. The act also promised that a commission would be appointed after 10 years to revive the working and progress made on the measures through the act. And this act also promised for the Indian people that the working and the functioning, or to make the recommendation, these will be retrieved after 10 years. And also it means to show just like that this commission was for the 10 years as it is noted here. So the Indian people and the leaders want to reform the diarchy form of the government. But Indian people, they want to reform the diarchy. They don't want to be a diarchy form of the government, because the diarchy form government reveals here a state which is ruled by the two people, and it will be proved very repressive for the Indian peoples. So here next point, this commission was composed of entirely British members, not a single member of Indian being included in. This commission, when it was agreemented, this commission was not having or was not including any Indian member. The Indian members were excluded, outraged formally here. And another background here, Lord Birkenhead was the responsible for setting up the commission, and this was a member from the Simon Commission from the British government, this Lord Birkenhead. Why he was responsible by setting up this Simon Commission? Because he thought that Indians having the inability to reconstruct the schemes, so that's why he was the responsible for setting up the this commission. Huh. This another point here. Clement Attlee was a member of the commission who later would become the Britain's PM here. So after all this background, I will make how Indians gave response to this, how Indians make opposition to this. That's like Indians were excluded from the constitution. Indians were outraged. I have said formerly here in above discussion that Indians were not included in this commission. That is why Indians conscience got anger that we have been insulted from this commission, or not a single member has been included in this. That's why they got protest against this. And second thing, the Congress party also decided to boycott the commission at the Madras session in 1927. Congress, INC Congress, International Congress, this was the freedom struggling party in India. They also decided to boycott the Simon Commission. They addressed it in the Madras session, which took place in 1927. Another Muslim League led by the M.A. Jinnah, Muhammad Ali Jinnah, also boycotted it. Muslim League, which was formed in 1906, perhaps, they also boycotted it. And also next point here, when commission landed in Feb 98, there were mass protests, hartals and black flag, black clouds, demonstration all over the country. And when this commission was implemented on India, there was having a mass protest, hartals regarding this, so much demonstration. There were just like black flags, black placards on where there was written in bold letters, "Go back, Simon." This was their slogan during the Simon Commission landed in India. Then people were chanting with the slogan, "Go back, Simon." People were chanting at that time, just "Go back, Simon." They opposed this commission. So here after that, the police restored lathi charge to repress the movement, and the police came to an scene. Then they suppressed the political activities of India and suppressed this movement. And there was a leader that's called Lala Lajpat Rai, who was heading this demonstration against the Simon Commission, was brutally lathi charged. And after a year, in that very year, due to severe injuries, he got died. So dear friends, I request you to have a notebook in your hand. Just jot it down and just make a note of it, and just go on sharing this video so it will reach to every student. So thank you.